The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Take this very seriously.
Very demure.
It's news-ish.
Very mindful.
On The Wally Show.
If you're a Gen Zer, or maybe you've got a kid that is a Gen Zer, they have got a tough road ahead of them if they want to get hired. It turns out that Gen Z, they have a reputation in the office as having sudden exits or having minimal loyalty to the company. And on average, they commit to their job to about 1 to 2 years.
Really?
It doesn't look good on them. And so all I'm saying is if you have a kid that's trying to get a job, there are some older bosses that are like, I don't really want to hire a younger kid because of this reputation. And some of it is true. A lot of Gen Zers admit to signing up to a situationship, which is pretty much signing up to do a job that they realize is going to be short term for them. They're going to give low commitment and they're not going to be there long term.
Yeah, that's a problem for older, because a lot of older people are still in the hiring positions. And so you have to weed through the hiring process to find that diamond in the rough, because not every Gen Zer is that, you know. But stereotypically, a lot of them have been that, because and the stereotype is based in truth, you know.
Right.
And I know I had a Gen Z guy that I've worked with hit me up the other day, and he was like, man, I'm just getting inundated by my bosses and they want me to work all these hours and things like that. And his was a situation which was like really over the line, you know. But I had to tell him, I said, look dude, whatever you do not say the phrase work-life balance, because I don't know the people that are working you, but I know they're like my age and they are not going to respond well to that.
Well, you're probably right. However, maybe they should be responding better to it. The main reasons as to why Gen Z workers don't stay long at a job is because they don't pay well, or they feel burned out, there's not enough flexibility, and they don't feel valued. So keep those in mind.
Well, let me just tell you this. That is work. Like, that's what work is. If it wasn't, it would be called fun if it wasn't like work. I mean, you don't feel valued. You don't always get paid what you want. You do have to work long. You do all of that so you can do the other stuff you want to do. That's a life lesson.
I think we can meet somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Like a Gen Z is one way and you're a completely other way.
Yeah.
I think there's a middle ground.
That's true. My way gets stuff done, though. Anyway, that's going to do it for your news dish. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting WayFM, this is The Wally Show. And when you work somewhere, there are the rules. They're in a rule book. You got to abide by them. That's kind of life. But then there are a lot of unwritten rules as well that somebody new coming in can easily break and not know. I was thinking about this because we years ago had a men's room and a ladies' room. Now, we're not progressive and liberal. It's not that crazy. But eventually they changed them to where, you know, just anyone could use either one, just for efficiency's sake, if you will. But for the longest time, the one on the left-hand side or the right-hand side was always the men's, and the one on the left-hand side was always the girls. And it was that way forever, you know. And so people would come in, and new people would come in, and I would tell them, like, so that they weren't shocked by that or whatever, you know, that there are people that still feel this way. But now the more new people we've gotten time and time and time again, that rule is gone.
Oh, yeah. Like,
and Betty Rock hates it.
Yeah, I do. I really, really do. Yeah. I wish that we had stayed where it was one was women's, one was men's. But now it's like, it doesn't matter what gender you are. You can go in one bathroom or that bathroom. And so, but the problem is that it's been this way for years now, where it's been like, it doesn't matter what gender, you just go. Yeah. But Wally and I still stick to which gender it.
Absolutely, still do.
I still go to the one that used to be only women, and you still go to the one that's only men.
I know. The irony is there's way more men here than women, and there would still be a line for the women's room, though. Like all three of you, like we'd walk in and out, we'd all go, and then we look over like, they're still in line. That's the weirdest thing. All right, so what is that unwritten rule at your job? There might be that one person, they're like, okay, don't ask so-and-so how their day is going if you don't want a 30-minute conversation. That would be an unwritten rule and a fair thing to warn somebody about. So what are those at your job? I'm just curious because I think these exist everywhere, and I'm curious what they are. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take your unwritten work rule right now. So what's yours?
Ours is you absolutely cannot heat up fish in the microwave. We had new people do it more than once, and it literally became an unwritten rule. It's just an absolute no-no.
I feel like for some reason every office tends to have this unwritten rule, and it's like, why isn't this universally well known? Who would ever walk into an office and bring in a fish and heat it up in the microwave?
The last person that did it at my office, her husband is a professional fisherman. So that's the reason why she eats a lot of fish. It's not even really because of her diet. It's just that's what they do.
Yeah, I get it. We'll do that at home. Bring a ham sandwich for lunch. Like you're going to be fine. The only fish that could be, and I think most people will agree with me on this, that's acceptable to cook at work would be fish sticks.
No.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, they're really not fish, and they don't smell fishy.
Still, no.
You love fish sticks.
I do, but at home.
Uplifting WAY-FM, this is the Wally Show, and one thing we have in common is we got to go to work. Got to pay for these lives, and sometimes when you go to work, they always have a rule book, a handbook that you're given when you get hired, but there are a bunch of unwritten rules that everyone seems to abide by, and some of them are very beneficial, too. Like, I came across this one guy worked at a sewer plant, and their unwritten rule was breathe through your nose. So if you're new there, and you'd think, oh, don't breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth. And the guy was like, yeah, breathe through your nose because things sometimes splash. And so you're like, again, you don't know until you get there and you're starting a new career, and that's really good advice.
We posted this on our Facebook page, and you can actually check it out and see what other people are commenting with when you search Wally Show on Facebook. But Amanda, Lori, and Lee all agreed on the same thing. They said parking spaces aren't assigned, but don't dare park in anyone's spot.
We all have our spots that we park in because we get here first in the morning, and we all park in the same spots habitually. And to the point where if someone has left like a company vehicle in my spot, I won't just shift over and park in Betty's. I'll park down the street because I don't want to make her mad.
There are other spots.
No, but if I'm even anywhere near hers.
There's been times where someone has parked in my spot, and I was like, I know it doesn't have my name, but this is common knowledge that is my spot. Don't take my spot.
Exactly.
It's
Unwritten
not hard.
rule.
Another one that will go down in infamy, Emily, she said, don't eat food that isn't yours.
Yes, it's common sense.
It was a spring morning, 2019, and Cake Gate happened. I had a half-eaten cupcake in the fridge, and so I had my name on it, and someone still ate it.
The fact it was half-eaten, too, is I mean, like I could get maybe you were confused, maybe we brought in some snacks. That happens at a radio station and at offices.
Yeah.
People bring in donuts or whatever, and they're fair game. But the fact that it had your name on it and was half-eaten, and somebody doesn't like you. Like, that was a message.
I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but yet he still did not admit to it.
Yeah, and he's still here, sitting next to you every day.
No, I shared an office with said person.
Gavin, I swear, if that turns out to be you, there will be the first killing in heaven.
The day that you leave this company, we'll find out.
Yeah, Gavin will admit to it then. He's like, I finally feel safe enough to share.
I will slash your tires.
I think to survive, we compartmentalize our lives. Everything has a box, and we kind of put things in there. You know, you've got school, or you've got work, or you've got church. But the reality is, our faith colors everything that we do. That's one of the things I really liked when I was teaching at Colorado Christian University. Faith had to be integrated into the business classes, or whatever the class was. It was a fundamental part of the education as a whole. And I think that's how we changed the world.
When I was going to CCU, as a student, I was thinking, how are they going to incorporate the Bible into math? math, and somehow they made it happen. All CCU online courses are designed for busy adults, and most courses, they're only 5 weeks long, so you can take one class at a time and still have time to enjoy your life.
I know I wrote papers at a campground one time, so it wasn't crazy once you get the system down. So that's why if you want to continue your education, both Betty and I highly recommend Colorado Christian University.
It's never too late to pursue your passion. Take the first step today and visit online.ccu.edu. CCU is a nonprofit impact partner.
With so much drama in the news,
I hate drama, so there you go.
You love drama.
I know I do, right?
this is a drama-free zone. It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
I don't know if your feed has been inundated by the Minneapolis stuff like mine has, but man, it can really make you mad. And the irony is, it doesn't matter which side of it you're on. You get mad when you watch the stories that are opposed to how you feel. And I'm not going to get into all the politics here of what's right, what's wrong. And, we do more of that in our podcast. We call it the Aftercast, and you can get it for free by texting TWS, those letters, to 91979, or just search Wally Show wherever you get your podcast. But there's a reason I'm not getting into it here. It's because, it's not because I'm afraid to speak my mind. I have opinions. If you've listened to the show for more than 10 minutes, you're probably pretty aware of that. But here's the thing. The reason is here's not a great venue for these discussions. 2-minute discussions can't even begin to encompass what's going on and break it apart to, have an opinion about it. But then really the thing I'm learning, I guess, as I get older is that in social media, you're not changing anybody's mind on anything. You're simply becoming more entrenched in what you already believe, and so it doesn't serve like this giant purpose. And as I watch different accounts, I've just been, there's just so much hate and anger coming from people, and they're saying and doing things that seem unhinged, and that anger, honestly, is exhausting. And when you get tired, you get even angrier. And as someone who has spent a large part of their adult life letting things make them angry, I watched this with a little bit of a different eye as I started going through a bunch of them. I began to feel sorry for these people because there's no joy for them. Every day, you wake up and it's a fight, and it's things that fuel your frustrations or, it fuels the insight into your ideology, and you're just angry over and over and over again. And the thing is, like a junkie seeking out its next fix, when this issue goes away, when you get into that cycle, you'll look for the next one and the next one and the next one. And before you know it, you are one of the most miserable people on the planet to be around, and you're not happy. Your life is empty, And so that's the reason that I'm not going really deep on this stuff, because it'll own me and I'll get angry and I look less and less like Jesus when that happens. And two, we want to be a refuge from that stuff. You can turn on the news, you can read the paper, you can watch TikTok or Instagram. You can get that anywhere and everywhere. But our goal here at the end of the day is to make you feel a little lighter with laughter and encouraged in your faith, so that at the end of all of this, you can go and love people better, even the ones who might be a little challenging to love. Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show, and I think we tend to put God in a box as to where he can work, how he works, and sometimes we think, it's only through church stuff, and I think that God is way bigger than that, and I think that we'll come across things that weren't even meant for a spiritual purpose, but we can see God in that stuff.
Yeah, I the other day was listening. We work in this Christian radio station for 8 to 10 hours a day. Yeah. So when I leave, sometimes I'm not listening to Christian music. And so I was listening to the song, and I'm partway through the song, and I hear this lyric that landed with me, and I'll kind of explain my take on it after.
Okay, I think we first need to talk about your taste in music outside of this. What in the world?
It sounded like Mickey Mouse going acoustic.
Americana.
I literally.
Did he say something like "There's perfume on the porch"?
No. So
what is the lyric?
So he says, I'll pray for you, be impatient for you. I'll leave the porch light on.
Okay.
But I'll wake up each morning heartbroken when it's me that turns it off. And so I heard that, and then the more that my brain started calibrating or focusing on those lyrics, for some reason, my brain went to like the story of the prodigal son, and it just had me thinking about we always talk about the son or maybe the other son, but the dad in that story and God in a sense is constantly leaving like the porch light on,
right,
waiting for us to come home.
I love that.
And then he's, heartbroken, and I'm a dad now. So there may be a day when my kid says, hey, I'm heading out. I'm like, the porch light's always going to be on for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know people that have struggled with this with their kids, and they've had that prodigal child, and the child wants to run as far as they can from them, and the parents are like, you always can come home, and that was such a beautiful story in the Bible, and that, when this kid came home, the dad ran to meet him, and I think that that's a great analogy for how God treats us. Well, let's do this. I love that example. What is another song, not a Christian song, but a song that you got something that pointed you back to your faith from? Like, because I just believe that God can use anything and everything to get our attention where we are at, and sometimes it's stuff that wasn't even intended for that purpose, but he'll use it. So what was that song, like a mainstream regular song, that the lyrics landed with you and pointed you back to your faith? We'll take a few of these. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. So what is yours?
100%, and it's actually Creed's Can You Take Me Higher?
Can you take me higher to a place where blind man sees?
That kind of brought me back to my faith and just getting into the Bible as a teenager. But a lot of Creed's songs just remind me of God and bring me back to biblical stories.
Well, Scott Stapp, he's the lead singer. He is a believer. He's had his battles with substance abuse and all that other stuff. I mean, we all have our issues and our hang-ups. But at the core of him is his faith. And so I think maybe, too, that's what you're responding to in Creed songs. That and the page boy haircut and the muscles.
That's right.
Well, Nicole, thanks for being on the show with us today. You're the best. What is that mainstream song that you heard that you thought differently as it was colored by your faith?
I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner.
I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is.
Oh, so good. You're speaking my language right now, taking me back to the 80s.
I don't know how this song can remind you of God. So, Christina, how is that?
Well, all my life I would tell you that I was a believer and a follower, but I didn't know really what that meant. I just had a rudimentary belief, and then when I hit a really dark time in my life and cried out to God because I couldn't handle things, he just took me on basically a whirlwind romance of revelation and just showing me who he is, and I wanted to know what that love of God is. I wanted to know that true love in my life, and when that song came on during that time, I was singing it to the Lord.
Yeah, I love that, because you take something that wasn't meant for that, but you turn it back to that, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. Absolutely. Well, Christina, thanks for being on the show with us. That's a great one. So what's yours?
It's YouTube's I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For.
But I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Okay, well, U2 is debatably a kind of Christian-ish kind of band. I know some people lump them into that category. I wouldn't say that they're a Christian band. I would say that, some of their songs encompass ideas of faith. And Bono's talked about being a believer. So what is it about this song that connects you to your faith?
Well, there's times when I've gone through depression, and before I met the Lord, I was just searching, trying to find a hole, to be filled. And so anytime I hear that song, or I've heard that song, it's just always brought me back to that. And now on my walk, it's a song that comes up when I'm praying for people, when they're praying for a prodigal to come home, or even if they're in the darkness of depression.
Yeah, I think the song is a great bigger picture reminder, too, of all the things that we search for to fill that hole in our life that can only be filled by God. Ooh, that also reminds me of that Extreme song, Wholehearted. There's a hole in my heart that can only be filled by you. And this hole in my heart can't be filled with the things I do. That'd be another good one, too. Or not. Sharona's like, yeah, I don't know if that one's a good one.
This is how I became the most interesting person in the room.
So pay attention. It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
Trends are always cyclical. Baggy pants are back right now, which blows my mind. But you just think about it, cyclical. In 5 to 10 years, skinny jeans are going to be 100%. Back.
When you're in your 70s.
I know, and you're welcome. Because that's a fad that I have not gone out of for a long time.
No, and sometimes I still come in, and I'm like, I know the exact shape of his leg.
Yeah,
and I wish I didn't. But apparently, here at the onset of 2026, people are already craving what they're calling a factory reset on what's popular, and are calling for or hearkening back to things from 2026. It's
hard to believe the good old days.
Or 2016, thank you.
The good old days is only 10 years ago. That's how bad things are today when you're like, I just want to get back to the good old days.
Well, we went through some really big things in those 10 years, one of them being
COVID.
Situation.
That's true. And I think for a lot of people, they're craving weird things like the mannequin challenge. They reference, I keep forgetting this is in 2016, but the mom who wore the Chewbacca mask where she laughed.
Now watch when my mouth actually moves.
Yeah, and that went viral.
That's not me making that noise. It's the mask.
Oh, really? It isn't you? That's so weird. Who would have thought that?
It's interesting, though, because they say it's more than just nostalgia that they're craving. They are saying right now that and I don't know if I agree with this or not, that the internet is less fun because everything that's AI related, social media is more performative instead of stumbling onto, like that video, that situation, stumbling onto something viral instead of just creating it.
It's harder to find the wholesome because there's so much that people are using, the internet as a platform to speak their mind and argue politically and things like that, and you get inundated with all of that it does go, man, I'd really like to go back to a time that was simpler and was less contentious. Was 2016 it? I don't know.
I remember 2016. I was in college.
Here's the thing. In 2016, we were wishing it was 2006.
100%.
So we're always wishing. We always say it was better back in the day. So in 2036, we're going to be wishing it was now.
Yeah, 2026. That's how bad things will be in 36. If we ever are wishing for 26 to be the good old days, that's kind of a mess.
I have this hope in the depth of my soul.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show, and that is 10th Avenue North. And I've always been a fan of them musically. And Mike Donahue from 10th Avenue North, I think is a pretty deep guy. I like his perspective on a lot of things. And I really like his fork of unforgiveness analogy because it rings true with me personally. So see what you think about this.
Reminds me of the time I was making a smoothie with my daughter, and we drop a fork in there, and we don't see it because we're too busy adding all the things we want to add to it. And we never stop to look inside and see there's a big old problem in there. So when we hit go on this thing, it starts sparks and smoke, and the fork bursts out the side because it doesn't matter how much you add, you got to get the fork out or it's going to come out sideways. And so I pray to God, would you just show me your plan for my life? And he says, would you just let my presence invade your plan?
The idea here, and this is what I love about it, is that we want to hear from God about, our future and our lives, and we want to grow in him, and we want to do all the right things. But there's that one thing present in your life, and you probably know exactly what it is, but it's that thing that's standing in the way of you not finding God's will for your life or not finding peace in his presence because you're not in right relationship with him. And it can be that one thing, and for him, it's the fork of unforgiveness. He was talking about, God, I want this in my life, and God's like, well, how about you forgive that person you're holding a grudge with? And it's like, I got to get that right if I want things to move forward. Yeah, Betty Rock's like, unforgiveness. Got it.
I think of others that need to.
Oh, you think of others?
That need to ask for
That's a
my
first.
forgiveness.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That one's too easy. My fault. So I like this analogy. Like, if I'm being honest, for me, the fork in my life is pride. You know, like, and not in like what I do for a living, but like in how I'm perceived maybe, or my pride in wanting to know all the answers from God, or thinking that I know better. I do. Like, so many times I'm like, God, if you would just do it this way, man, you'd have a home run. People would like you. Like, you'd knock it out of the park. What's wrong with you? Like, and literally there's that amount of pride. And that can be the thing that is the fork of pride that is standing in the way of maybe me being better at my faith and having a different feeling life too. So that's what we want to talk about with you right now. As you think about this and process what we just talked about, what is that fork that you think, man, I probably could get rid of that? Or maybe you've already noticed what it was in your life and you could share what it was, because you might help somebody else out with what theirs is. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What would you say that is for you?
Well, it's a fork of emotion and loneliness. Family. They do not respond to my text messages or phone calls or anything. They're ghosted me from their life. And I've chosen to forgive them, but I want to continue a relationship with my family, but I can't because they just don't respond.
Sometimes all you can do is continue to make the effort. Zach, who used to be on the show, used to always say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And so it's like, if you stop reaching out, then you're never going to know. But if you at least continue, then maybe one day you hit them on the right day with the right wording, and, you know, God's doing something in their hearts behind the scenes that you're not aware of, and then it starts to open that door. But if you just give up, then the odds of that door getting opened is a little slimmer probably.
Right. I haven't given up. I've felt the pain of rejection.
Sure.
And I could only ask for more prayer. If you can help me with that prayer,
yeah,
that would be awesome, because I've been praying for, like you said, a change in their heart.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know the situation, and I know that, too, sometimes when we say, hey, God, work on them, I've found, too, that it's like, all right, God, work on my heart and how I perceive them or how I love them, because maybe that will change the way I write my message or something like that. Is that a possibility as well?
It sounds foreign to me, but yes.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. But like, sometimes maybe if you change how you feel about them, it will change how you interact with them. And maybe that's the start. That's a hard prayer, is God change me.
Yeah.
You know, while we're talking about praying, you could always post this on our prayer wall as well. And then you have people praying for you, you know, constantly, and you'll get notifications that say, hey, somebody just prayed for you. And it's been my experience from a lot of other people that, like, those messages usually come on the right day at the right time. And that's kind of the God component of it. And if you want to check it out, just text the word pray to 91979, Deb, and we'll send you a link.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for listening.
Monday School is a chance for Wally to share what he learned at church and prove that he went.
So we've been talking about getting healthy in our lives in 2026, and that encompasses a bunch of areas like spiritually, mentally, financially, emotionally. And this week, Collective Grown was healthy. I know. And we all like, dadgummit, man. Does the Bible talk about being physically healthy? In 1 Timothy 4, it does. Paul's writing to encourage young Timothy, and he says that physical training is of some value, but keeping your heart in good spiritual shape is more important. But he does mention both, okay? You know, in our world today, we often flip that. We would say spiritual is of some importance, but physical matters most. I mean, look at all the commercials and look at how we do things and the pressure to look a certain way. And, you know, we all exercise. Did you get your 10,000 steps today? You know, because we put a focus on that. You guys, Paul, no stranger to exercise in the Bible. Do you know ballpark how many steps they estimate that he walked during his ministry?
No.
Because they didn't have cars. They had to walk everywhere. They think he walked like 7,000 miles.
Ow.
Yeah, during his time.
His feet had to be killing him.
And they only had sandals back then.
Yeah. I mean, that's why washing feet was a thing, too. It showed you, like, you had respect and reverence, and it was a act of, submissiveness and service. And that's why it's a big thing in the Bible, too.
And there was no arch support.
Nope.
Either.
Not at all.
So why, and also too in Corinthians, Paul uses the metaphor of your body as a temple. So why the temple analogy? Well, because the temple is sacred. The idea is treat your bodies with that same respect. And that metaphor encourages, actions like healthy eating, regular exercise, getting sleep, avoiding harmful substances in order to maintain that sanctity or the sanctity of that temple. And it's honoring God to, do this. The thing is, like, if we watch somebody vandalize and destroy a church, we would be irate and we would try to stop them. Yet we destroy our own temple one Twinkie at a time, and I have no room to judge, but if you've tried every diet plan, this is kind of what hit me too. Like, if you've tried every diet plan and you still haven't seen success in that, maybe viewing it from the perspective of your body is a temple. It is something designed by God, and it is something that we are given the responsibility of taking care of. And maybe that helps you have a little bit of accountability and leads to some progress there. So taking care of your temple honors God, and it changes you. And that is your Monday School with a little extra slice of guilt.
And now for some good news.
Uplifting Way FM. This here is the Wally Show. A little bit of good news. Giddy up. A couple rapid fire good news stories coming at you, designed to make you feel better because the regular news is a bit of a bummer. This was kind of a cool story. After 974 days in foster care, there was a little boy in Tennessee that got adopted just in time for Christmas. His name is Kazaa, and he was adopted by some foster parents who have had him since he was 18 days old. And their plan was to reunite him with their biological mom someday, but when that couldn't happen, they have thought of him as their own kid, and they adopted him, which is so cool.
Awesome.
And then I didn't know this, but it actually is a lady that goes to our church. She works at our church. It was her daughter and son-in-law, and son and daughter-in-law. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, man. I love that. I actually ran into her last night. I'm like, hey, your story went national. And she's like, I know, isn't that crazy? But this kid has a forever home now, which is always a win. Betty Rock, good news, giddy up, go.
In South Bend, Indiana, there's a guy named Mo who was making, he drives around town this 2000 Chevy Silverado. And
26 years old.
And it looks rough.
Yeah.
He was asked what happened to it. He said, "What hasn't happened to it? It is on. It went past its last leg." Anyways, he's been driving it around because it's his only transportation. But the town got together and actually raised $25,000 to buy him a gently used 2019 Silverado, and he was so thankful to his community because they all got together to do some good.
There you go. I love when people do that kind of GoFundMe stuff. Gavin, good news, giddy up, go.
There's a veteran from Nepal. He just became the first above-the-knee double amputee, which I complained a little bit about knee pain earlier today.
Sure.
I feel bad now.
Yeah, you kind of a whiner. When you hear this guy's story.
So he's the first to do something called the Seven Summits, which is where you climb the highest peak on all 7 continents.
That's nuts.
He climbed Everest a few years ago, just did the one in Antarctica.
Wow.
And to me, I mean, again, for every reason to not necessarily, in essence, get back. He has done so much with what a lot of us would view as life and, ending or altering.
And we complain about taking the stairs.
Exactly.
And this guy with 2 legs missing has climbed 7 summits. That's impressive. I have a new idea about climbing Mount Everest. I've always kind of wanted to do it, but I know I'm not able to. But maybe if I hire one of the Sherpas that carry everything to carry me.
Oh, there you
and
go.
then we could do it. Then I think I could actually make it. So, just a thought.
Please. Please do this.
It's funny because Nate Bargatze, who we love on the show, he's a great comedian, works clean. He has a joke about climbing Everest.
One type of athlete that you can hire is guys that have climbed Mount Everest, and they go and talk to businesses to motivate them because it's relatable. That's it's not relatable at all. This guy climbed Mount Everest, and he's going to try to talk to people that are trying to park as close as they can to the building.
Uplifting Way FM. If it's trending, streaming, or starring, Betty Rock's got it on The Rock Report.
Taylor Swift has found a new hobby outside of writing #1 hits like these.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
I got it. I hate myself, but that one's so catchy. Like, I do like that song. I'm not a giant Taylor Swift fan, but I like that one. I know you are.
Anyways, she's found a new obsession, and it is making sourdough bread.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. A lot of people are into this now.
Yeah, and she was seen recently out in L.A. with some friends of hers, and each of her friends walked away with a loaf of bread that she had made for each of them. Yeah, that was very kind. That's cool. Anyways, she has said in past interviews, she said that typically her hobbies all tend to be grandma hobbies from the 1700s, and bread making would be one of those. She said, I'm talking about bread 60% of the time now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And two, like she had a friend, Selena Gomez, which we know she's a pop star as well as an actress, and she recently got married, and Taylor Swift made got a basket and made a whole bunch of different breads for her, and she put in there, it's a loaf story instead of love story.
That's good.
So you may be wondering, well, granny hobbies, those sound pretty good. I'd like to get in on that. Well, great. I have a few for you. Typically, a granny hobby tends to be nostalgic, hands-on activities focused on creating, nurturing, or just simple pleasures. So you'd be looking at knitting or crocheting, baking, like Taylor is doing, gardening, bird watching, puzzles,
that's
and
a lot of
reading.
you in there.
I am a grandma.
You and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Very similar.
You have a lot in common with Taylor Swift and my grandmother, like both. And so that's pretty great.
What does that say? That's a wide range, too. And here's the thing, too. Taylor Swift has one more cat than I do.
No way.
She's got 3.
Oh, wow.
I've only got 2.
That's true. Taylor Swift is an old cat lady.
She is.
That's awesome.
And yet somehow she's engaged. She's got so many exes.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
We're sorry.
It's fine.
You know what would help with that?
It's not fine, but it's...
Take up sourdough bread making.
Yes.
Who knows? You might meet a cute sourdough chef guy. I don't know.
That?
I don't know.
There's
I
a
think
Hallmark
they do.
movie in there somewhere
Yeah,
for
there
you.
absolutely is. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. We're going to play a little Who on the Show, and we'll ask a question. We'll write down our answers of who we think on the show is responsible for, the answer to this question. And all you have to do is tell us who you think it is. And if you match with the majority, then you win a prize. It's just that simple. And if we can't come to a consensus, then that means we don't know. There's no way you could know. You could also get a point that way as well. So there's a lot of ways to win. Like, here's the example. If I was to say, who on the show is most likely to inflict bodily harm on another member of the show?
Easy.
Random act of violence out of nowhere with a lot of attitude. Given what we've been through today with her, what would you say? I mean, sorry, with them, with that person.
With this one?
Yeah, I'm going to write my answer down. Gavin, you have yours. Betty,
I
you have
do.
yours. Okay, so Gavin, who would you say?
Now, I'm going to say Betty.
I know.
But
quietly. Say it to my face!
Say it to my face!
Because Betty yelled at Gavin earlier.
He did. She did not. She
oh
did
my
not.
goodness.
She did.
Yeah.
Maybe I did, but I apologize because I realized I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
You're so funny.
Yet I can't stop hearing about it.
I wrote Betty down too because she yelled at me to turn down the speakers a minute ago and called me something nasty.
No, I did not.
and-
I'm about to get crazy
okay.
on both of y'all
Yeah,
right
all right.
now.
Well, my mom did not raise an idiot, apparently, Betty.
What did you write down?
Yeah.
I wrote down myself.
So that would be a slam dunk if you also said Betty Rock. You would have gotten all the points.
Y'all just give me too much ammunition.
That's
it's
true.
not
We
my
do.
fault.
Well,
we are afraid of all 110 pounds of you. All right, so if you want to play along, 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll need a contestant for this game. It's called Who on the Show, 855-33-WAY-FM, and we'll play with you right now for a prize. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. Casey, welcome to Who on the Show, the game where you will have to tell us who on the show is most likely to blank once I give you the question. And if you match with what the majority of us say, you will get a point. Get enough points, you win a prize. So how long have you listened to the Wally Show?
Oh, for about 3 years since we moved to the area.
Oh, really good. That's enough time to get a sense of who we are. Honestly, you need about 3 minutes because we're not a thick book. So here we go. Question number 1. Now, some of these things aren't necessarily true, but they're who would be most likely to, who you think, okay? Who says bro in both an insult and a compliment? Who on the show is most likely to say bro as both an insult and a compliment? So you write your answer down. Gavin and Betty and I will write our answers down. All right. Everybody got your answer? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Who would you say there, Casey?
Gavin.
You say Gavin. Okay. Betty Rock, who did you say?
I said Gavin as well, just because I feel like he does try his own way to insult us without us realizing he's doing it. And I think that would be a good way to do it.
That's interesting, because I was on the fence between you and myself, because you say, come at me, bro. Which is a threat, and we've taken it up with HR. But I also said Gavin because of his brotacular, his vernacular brotacular. So that is enough. I'm just curious, Gavin, who did you write?
Bro. Yes.
Oh, yeah, me.
I wrote me.
Okay, there you go. Here we go. You just need one more. Who is most likely to spend hours deciding where to get food? Okay, so now you could go with this as who's a foodie, who is indecisive. So everybody got your answers down? Yep. I have mine. What do you say there, Casey?
I say Wally.
You say Wally, okay.
Yes.
I did not say myself. I said Betty.
Really?
Because you love food so much that I think sometimes you're not sure what you want to eat, but you don't agree with that?
No, I wrote down Gavin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why me?
Because I feel like you're always trying to please everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that you would not know where to go because you want to keep everyone happy. I feel like I know. Like, you don't have to ask me. I'll tell you where I want to go.
Okay, then I was wrong. Gavin, who did you say?
Okay, this is funny. I wrote Wally down.
Oh.
Because... And it's not because you're trying to decide.
Right.
It's because your wife is famous for also trying to decide. You're roped into taking a minute to decide where to eat.
Well, here's great news for you, Casey. I said Betty. Betty said Gavin. Gavin said me. That means we did not have a majority. And if we can't even decide who does what, then there's no way you possibly could. So you get a point. That's 2 out of 3. You win today.
Thank you.
I have several questions.
I have all the questions.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. I came across a story that I got questions about. Okay, so a 28-year-old lady was told by a doctor like 10 years ago, okay, well, sorry, ma'am, but you cannot have children. So early in the morning one day, she's experiencing stomach pains, and so she's like, it's not going away. This doesn't feel good. I got to go to the hospital. So she goes to the hospital, and about 2 hours later, she has a baby.
What?
Yeah, I know. See, like, even you say, what? I got questions. Like, she had, and not just a little baby, she had an 8-pound baby. 8 pounds, 1 ounce.
Thing.
Yeah, like, if I put on 2 pounds, I'm pretty aware of it. Much less 8 pounds and all that comes with it. Because as a lady, it's never just 8 pounds. So, like, how in the world did this happen? Like, I don't get it.
I remember back in junior high, I had a teacher that suddenly just wasn't there anymore. And we found out that she had been pregnant.
What?
She didn't know it. She was 6 months pregnant and had no idea. But it turned out that she took a lot of medications that I guess had side effects that she could have blamed on that instead of pregnancy.
Was one side effect creating a baby inside of you?
I mean, like it could have taken enough Tums to...
Yeah, but it's so common that they even have a TV show about it. Have you seen that?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's on TLC where it's like, I didn't know I was pregnant.
TLC, they used to be the learning channel. They still have those letters, but you learn nothing. It's all drama. Okay, well, 1 in 2,500 pregnancies are... like this, which I can't.
That's
that seems
lot.
Yeah, that seems like not a giant number to be true, and I really felt like something was amiss. Like you were in junior high, they just didn't want to tell you guys,
maybe.
Like is what I think. And so, like, I am curious. Do you know somebody firsthand, or was it you that had a baby and did not know you were pregnant? Again, I have a lot of questions on this. I cannot fathom how this could even remotely be possible. Like right now, I'm cooking up a kidney stone, and I'm pretty aware of this baby in me, So 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. I'd love to hear your story about you or someone that you may personally know that actually didn't know they were pregnant. I'd love to hear that. 855-33-WAY-FM.
I have several questions.
I have all the questions.
Uplifting WAY-FM. This is The Wally Show. Jessica, thank you for joining us for I Got Questions. Apparently, there was a lady, she didn't know she was pregnant, went to the hospital because she didn't feel good, had an 8-pound baby, had no idea. I find that so hard to believe because my wife complained so much during her pregnancy.
Oh, my gosh.
So I am curious, like, how does this happen? Do you know anybody that this happened to?
It happened to me, actually.
How is that possible, Jessica?
I know. I get it all the time. I was a heavy-set girl back then.
So there were no signs whatsoever, like that you were pregnant. You weren't moody. You weren't sick. You didn't have weird cravings?
No, I had nothing. Like I said, I was a little heavy-set back then. So the weight gain went unnoticed.
Well, I don't know if it went unnoticed. I just think that your husband was smart enough not to say anything.
He absolutely knew better.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.